God has so much that he wants to give to you. He has like a whole life for you, full of amazing, great things that would make you so happy. But until you are ready to let go of this burden of your past, you're not going to be able to be in a position of receiving. In order for me to love a version of myself in the future, I have to love the version of myself right now that currently exists. So I'm not going to get anywhere with my body if I hate my body. I'm not going to get anywhere with my body if I keep talking down on myself. I'm not going to get anywhere in my life successfully if I keep talking down currently in this moment right now.
Hello, stranger. It's been a minute since we last kicked. And by the way, just got in town, and I won't let you in this club.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. First and foremost, my voice, girl, it is like dang near gone. I went to New York with some of my really good friends over the weekend for my friend's birthday at a lake house in Hunter, New York, and it was so much fun, you guys. Like, I had the time of my life. And if you're asking, oh, did you vlog anything? I didn't vlog a single thing. I literally brought my whole entire like filming equipment, lights, everything, and I didn't end up filming anything. And honestly, it was because I was barely even on my phone, girl. Like, I really was just in the woods and on my kumbaya, like meditating and just being peaceful. And I realized that I thoroughly enjoy being in the moment in life and being present, which is why I know that if I were to ever vlog like full-time on YouTube rather than doing sit-down long-form content, that I'd be really successful with it. I have the editing skills for it, I have the life for it, I do a bunch of really cool things, but I just don't enjoy it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I enjoy doing vlogs here and there. Like, my New York vlog was so much fun. It was a really fun vlog for me to film, but I just feel like I am a very like in the moment type of person, and I feel like with vlogging it can sometimes become toxic because you have to like feel as if you have to record or you have to document absolutely everything, right? And there's like almost this like, okay, like, well, when do I get the opportunity to be in the moment? You know, when do I get the opportunity to enjoy myself and not worry about, oh, well, I have to film? Like, me and my friends literally all sat at this table till like 6 in the morning. I've never laughed. I've never ever laughed so hard in my life. And my friend was like, yo, you could have had your camera out the whole time. We could have got like the best content. And I was like, yeah, but like I have enjoyed just like laughing with you guys like all night, and it was just really good medicine, really good for the soul. So I did not vlog, and I do apologize for that. I also apologize for the lack of uploads last week. It's just life was really crazy, okay? But you guys will get 2 videos this week in order to make up for that. First of all, can we talk about the nails? Hello, my nail tech killed this shit. And we got, you know, the fall decor in the background. I have to just work on my room, my filming area now. But I just wanted to have a realistic girl talk with y'all today, and just kind of like chit chat as if we're on one big virtual FaceTime call, and just kind of say some things that have been on my heart and on my mind that maybe some of you can resonate with, maybe you can't. I don't know, I guess I'm just gonna get started. I was talking on my Instagram a couple weeks ago, which if you're not following me, girl, what are you doing? Follow me. I'm so active on Instagram. Like, you guys will get mini YouTube videos on Instagram every single day if you just follow me. Like, I'm literally always just talking on there. Like, I don't know how to shut up, literally. And I was on there and I basically was saying something on the, like, the presumption of like why all of us are so unhappy, right? And there was like a couple weeks ago, there was this one day where I was just in a really bad mood. Like, you know, like that first day when you start your period and your emotions are just literally all over the place. That's how I felt. But I wasn't ovulating, I wasn't on my period, or sometimes like the week before my period, I just feel like I'm crazy and I belong in like a mental hospital or like a psych ward somewhere, because I just really have these like crazy like emotions and hormones, and I don't know what it is. I've gotten my hormones checked out. They say nothing's wrong with me. So I don't know, girl, but I was just feeling all sorts of weird. And I remember I just said like, why is it that everyone I know right now is struggling? Everybody I know, whether it's a friend, a family member, a coworker, like, I just feel like everybody is struggling right now, whether it's physically, financially, or spiritually. Like, I don't know anybody that's happy right now. I couldn't name, besides my daughter, which I guess is a great thing, but I don't know anybody who's like an adult that's actually thoroughly happy with their lives right now. And I often get in my head a lot, and I like question the meaning of life. I question, why are we here? What is our purpose? Am I fulfilling my purpose? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? And like these thoughts just like will consume my inner being. And I was on Instagram, and I, for the life of me, can't find who the creator was. You know how like when you find a video on Instagram and then it just like disappears? And it was this guy, and he was talking about, you know, God has so much that he wants to give to you. He has like a whole life for you, full of amazing, great things that would make you so happy. But until you are ready to let go of this burden of your past, you're not going to be able to be in a position of receiving. A lot of times in life, if we want something, we have to put ourselves in the position to receive it. I was just talking about this on my podcast, which, by the way, if you don't follow my podcast, again, what are you doing? It's called Sis Let's Heal. It's on every streaming platform. Don't ask me, where is it? It's on every streaming platform. Everywhere. Spotify, Google, Apple, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout. Everywhere. Go get it. It's pretty good. No, but for real, like seriously, like go listen to my podcast. I was saying how a lot of people get manifesting so wrong. They want to like wake up one day and be like, I want a house with a 6-car garage and a husband that makes a lot of money and X, Y, and Z. Like you want all of these things. But if everything showed up at your front doorstep tomorrow that you wanted, would you be ready for it? For me, for example, like I know like I want another kid, I want a man, like I want all these things, right? But I'm a little overweight right now, okay? Like I'm 185 pounds and I'm only 5'2". Like, by the way, my hair, if y'all could like help me out a little bit, I don't know what's wrong. I will wash it and it's still greasy. Like, what is going on? I tried to blow it out, but it's like I'm blowing out grease. Like, why is my hair still fucking greasy? I just that's a problem for another time. Another baby, right? But like I'm overweight right now. Like I'm only 5'2" and I'm 185, and like, you know, I've had some issues with my body image lately because like I'm confident always, but like I've been like a little bit like, ooh, like I look at myself in pictures and I'm like, oh my God, like not so flattering. Or like I'll be around other people and I'll just be like, oh my God, like I still look good, don't get me wrong, like my face card never declines ever, but like I just don't feel good. I wake up, I feel sluggish, I feel tired, I feel like bloated and like pregnant, literally. And it's because like I'm not supposed to be eating gluten, but like pasta is literally my life, and I don't care what you say. There is not one good brand of gluten-free pasta. It's disgusting. They all suck. There's not one brand of gluten-free pizza crust that tastes enjoyable. And I only got one life to live, okay? So like I want to go out eating good food. But again, that's the problem I have to sort out. It's like choose your hard. Do you want to look pregnant or do you want to eat in a bathing suit, girl? Like I don't really know what to tell you. But yeah, I've been having like a lot of like really weird like body image issues lately. In order for me to love a version of myself in the future, I have to love the version of myself right now that currently exists. So I'm not going to get anywhere with my body if I hate my body. I'm not going to get anywhere with my body if I keep talking down on myself. I'm not going to get anywhere in my life successfully if I keep talking down currently in this moment right now. Like you can't love yourself in the future. You have to love yourself currently because the future hasn't even happened yet. So that's what I'm currently going through right now. But anyways, to get back to my podcast, I was talking on there and I was basically saying like, you know, for like example, for me, like I want another baby, but like I'm overweight right now. If I were to get pregnant, first of all, I don't even have a man, but like again, that's a problem for me to figure out, but it's not even a problem. But like if I were to be pregnant right now, like I would put myself in such horrible circumstances because I'm already technically overweight, right? And that wouldn't be good. So like I'm not putting myself in a position of receiving because I'm not taking care of myself physically. Some of us, we want a house with a 6-car garage and we want all of these, you know, amazing things, but like our credit scores are plummeting, our finances are horrible. Like we're driving around with the mirrors coming off of our vehicles, but at least our eyelashes are in check. Girl, when's the last time you got an oil change? When's the last time you changed your windshield wipers? When's the last time you put a little coolant in your car? Like, winter's coming and that heat be heating. Like, you need heat. Put coolant in your car. Like, there's things that like we don't do, but then we want more, but we can't even handle what we already have, right? And like with my channel, for example, I have 23,000 subscribers, whereas somebody else in my niche, which I don't even really have a niche, I just come on here and talk and yeah, somehow it works. But they'll have like 100,000 or they'll have like 50, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, why don't I have more? And it's like, well, girl, because you can't even handle what you have right now. You can't even upload twice a week. So how are you going to expect more? Like this other creator on TikTok was saying, like, what if God knew that you could only handle 500 followers and that's why you're not getting more? So it all boils down to like, we want these things in life, but we don't put ourselves in the position to receive these things in life. Relationships, like you want a healthy man. He has to have six-pack abs, eat well, goes running, goes hiking, emotional stability, has his own business. Meanwhile, you haven't been to the gym, even though you keep getting charged for that Planet Fitness membership every single month. You haven't been to the gym in 6 months. Last time you ate a vegetable was probably during childhood. You don't even have emotional stability because you're still lashing out and projecting on people because of what your parents put you through. And this is no judgment, okay? Because when I'm talking from experience, because I'm this way sometimes as well. But it's like we want these things in another person, or we want these things in like an alternate dimension that has yet to even come into fruition yet. But we're not putting ourselves in the positions to receive those things. That's why those manifestations sometimes aren't coming true, because when it comes to manifestation, like sure, you could do vision boards, you could do rituals, you could do the 3-6-9 method, but those are tools to help with manifestation. I was talking about my podcast. I was saying it's like when you're making a pasta dish, you get all of your ingredients, right? So you get your pasta, you get your sauce, your butter, your garlic, and then you make it all up and you fix your plate, and then you put a little parsley on top. The parsley is like the garnishing, right? Think about that in context of manifestation. The ingredients are the things that you do to put yourself in alignment. And then once you put it on the plate, the manifestation coming into fruition is that little sprinkle of parsley you put on top. It's like the addition. It's like the add-on, okay? From the work underneath the parsley that you've done thus far. Imagine like going to like make a plate of pasta and not using any of the ingredients, and then just like sprinkling parsley on like an empty plate. I'd be looking at you like you were crazy and you needed help. Like, that is what some of us are living currently in our realities, by thinking that these manifestations or these wants or these needs or these desires are going to fall from the sky. Meanwhile, we're not doing anything to make them come into fruition, right? Aside from that, you know, this creator was saying like, you know, God has so much he wants to give to you. He has so much he wants to bring to your life, but you know, you're holding on to your past. Now, holding on to your past looks different for everybody. For some people, it could be relationships. For other people, it could be circumstances. For some people, it could be locations, jobs, things like that. You know, like you're mad because your boss fired you. You're mad because your ex left you and he's married now. Or you're upset because, you know, this person hurt you and they betrayed your trust, right? So it could be that. But for some people, aka me, what I'm holding on to from my past is not people, because I'm going to get into that in a minute, how I've been able to forgive almost every single person that's hurt me and done me wrong. We're going to get to that a little later on. I'll touch on that and talk about it. But for me, it's more so mindsets, like self-limiting mindsets, like imposter syndrome, thinking that I'm not worthy of success, or that I'm not worthy of healthy experiences, or that I can't possibly be here because that's not the life that has played out for me thus far. You know, the reason why these people are successful is because they were fed with a silver spoon. They had an easier life. I wasn't dealt fair cards, therefore I'm going to be struggling forever. Like those mindsets, right, that really hold you back from success, because at the end of the day, the only thing that really holds you back from success, baby girl, is you, yourself, and you. Like that, like you and that person that you look in the mirror, that is the only person that holds you back from success or getting you to where you need to be. It's not your parents, it's not your friends, it's not anybody else besides you. And I was actually talking about this again on my Instagram, and I was going on my freaking tangent, and I was saying how at the end of the day, people are going to be who they are, and you have to let them, because that's who they are. That is who they present themselves to be. And a lot of times we get it twisted, and we think that the reality that we think that we have with somebody is much greater than it actually is, right? And if I was saying this, I think in one of my old videos, that if we were to just take people for surface value and what they show us and not what we think they should be or think they could be, life would be so much easier, because how somebody feels about you is how they treat you. How they treat you is how they feel about you. If they're not calling, it's because they don't want to. If they're not showing up, it's because they don't want to. If they're not showing you affection or love, it's because they don't want to. Like, we all have a choice, right? And that's the thing. We all have free will, and how we choose to manage and, you know, navigate that free will is different for everybody. And you'll never be in control of somebody else, but you are always in control of yourself. So if somebody lies to you or cheats on you and manipulates you, that is on them. But it is also on you to love yourself enough to limit your exposure to that. And sometimes we stay in relationships with people, or we stay in these unhealthy work environments with these unhealthy family members, with these unhealthy friends, because we don't love ourselves enough to leave. Because if we leave, that means we're alone. And who are we? Alone as an identity, as just one human being, right? We rely on these outside things in order to validate us. We seek validation through how much we can help somebody. We seek validation through, I gave her advice and she didn't take it, so I'm not valid, or I must not be good enough. That's not true, because you should have your own self-validation. How you feel about yourself is the truth. How somebody else feels about you is how they feel about you through their perception and their eye. And perception is in the eye of the beholder. How I feel about something is not the same way that you're going to feel about something. Who I vote for in the political events is not going to be who you vote for. Who I think is right or wrong is maybe who you're not going to think is right or wrong. Who I like for music maybe is going to be different than what you like. It doesn't mean it's wrong, because opinions are not facts, and feelings are not facts, okay? So at the end of the day, I don't even know what I was freaking talking about. I just went on a whole goddamn tangent. Oh shit! Like, what am I even talking about anymore? Oh yeah, like, I had to realize at the end of the day, I'm not saying to excuse someone's behavior. If somebody lies to you or cheats on you or manipulates you, it's not your fault. That's just who they are, right? Not everybody was raised on love. Not everybody was raised on morals or respect. A lot of men are out here taking out the issues that their mother bestowed upon them out on other women, right? That is not your problem. But if you stay and you keep allowing that person to do these horrible, you know, I'm not talking about abuse, by the way. Abuse is a whole separate subject that I'm not going to get into. I've never been in a physically abusive relationship. I've been in a mentally one, so I will not and cannot ever talk about that, because I've never been through it. I'm not going to give advice on something I've never been through. That's ignorant. But if this person is constantly treating you bad, or they're cheating on you or lying to you or not giving you what you deserve, after a while you have to ask yourself, well, why am I staying? Like, what part of me is not in alignment or in cahoots because I'm staying and enabling this behavior? Because I mean, that is what it is, right? Like, if a kid jumps off the counter and you know they have the potential to get hurt, but you just don't want to say anything, and you keep letting them jump off the counter, and then one day they jump off and they break your leg, you enabled that because you let them do it, right? You could set boundaries and be like, hey, we're not jumping around the house. Like, don't got time for that, right? With another person, you could be like, hey, we don't correlate anymore. Our core values, our morals, nothing is in alignment. You're not good for me. You don't add value. You take away. I need to love myself enough to leave. Am I saying it's easy? No. If it was easy, I wouldn't be sitting here making this video, because I've been in circumstances like this before. What I'm saying is that you have to choose your hard. Is it hard to stay in a toxic relationship? Or is it hard to leave a toxic relationship? Is it harder to stay in a toxic work environment where your boss does not value you? Or is it hard to leave that and go find a job that better suits you? Is it hard to stay around family members who have these values that aren't in alignment with yours and that hurt you? Or is it hard to walk away from that and, yeah, be alone for a little bit, but eventually you'll find your own little village and community? It's like, you have to choose your hard, you know? And when you love yourself, you do better and you know better. And I had to realize at the end of the day that, you know, my exes weren't the problem. These friends that I used to have weren't the problem. You know, family members weren't the problem. The problem was that I kept staying and giving people benefit of the doubt. So of course they're going to still hurt me and do these things to me, because I'm not allowing them, but I'm subjecting myself to it time and time and time again. So is it their problem for being who they are and just showing me that? Or is it my problem for staying in the toxicity and enabling it, right? Like, I think I told you guys with Adrian, who's my Narc X, if you don't know, if you're new. We talked around this time last year. He reached out and apologized, and we actually had a conversation where I had asked him, I said, you know, not that I'm excusing the lying or the cheating or, you know, the things that you did to me, the emotional abuse and manipulation, but when I would, it's the next day, y'all already know that I cannot seem to like get it together and film a video all in one day. So here we are. But I think where I left off last is I was basically saying that when I had spoken to Adrian, I had, you know, asked him, like, every time that I came back or every time that I allowed you to come back, did it kind of enable your behavior? Like, did it kind of make you think like, okay, I can keep doing this because she's always just going to keep taking me back? And he said, yeah. Like, if I'm being completely honest, it just made me feel like I didn't have to change. He's like, I'm not, and he said, to preface, I'm not saying my behavior was okay. I'm not saying my behavior is because of you, but what I am saying is that by you allowing me to just come back with no repercussions every single time, it allowed me to think that I didn't have to change myself in order to be with you. And that's what a lot of women seem to misunderstand. And I have conversations with a lot of you on my one-on-one calls, because I do offer those. If you want one, just DM me on Instagram. A lot of you say like, well, I don't get it. He always comes back. He always comes back to me. He always comes back to me. That's not a good thing, and it's not a compliment, because a man will only come back to you if he knows there's something to come back to, or if he knows that there's not going to be any repercussions and he's not going to get any shit for it, right? That's when he's going to come back to you. He knows that you will allow him to, and that you won't hold him accountable, and you won't say anything. You would just allow him to come back with no punishment, basically, and it makes it easy for them. A lot of women out here, they say like, oh, well, he always comes back to me. And it's like, girl, that's not a compliment. And this is coming from somebody who used to say that, right? Be like, oh, well, he always comes back to me. Yeah, he may go out there and he may be with her, but like, I know he's going to come back to me. And it's like, that's not a good thing. And you know what's crazy too is we all think we have so much time, right? I know when I was 19 years old, I was like, I'm young, whatever. I got time. I'm about to be 30. However old you are, whether you're 18 or you're 60, you don't have time. Before we continue with the video, I do want to give a special offer to you guys provided by our sponsor, which is Cant. I know, before you say it, another YouTuber with a brand deal or a sponsorship, yada, yada, yada. I totally get it. They may be annoying to watch, but here's the thing. I get to come on here and create amazing content for you guys, which is also free and readily available because of sponsors like Cant. They support the channel, they support me, and they support my content, which is in turn supporting all of us together. So if you like the if you like the channel and you want it to continue, I highly suggest watching the sponsor. It's just 2 minutes. It's like a commercial. Not really a big deal. Okay, let's get to it. Cant is an online website where you can get access to literally thousands of tarot card readers, astrologers, psychic mediums, and literally so much more. It's like the Netflix account for literally getting a tarot card reading from the comfort of your own home, because I don't know if you guys are like me, but I'm always super busy. I never have time to even breathe, let alone go to an appointment, okay? It's like jumping through hoops and a fence, the ocean, to make an appointment these days, especially being a single mom. So getting to have a tarot card reading from the comfort of my own home is really why I like Cant so much. You can call them anytime, anywhere, if it's 11 o'clock in the afternoon or if it is 1 o'clock in the morning, if you want to get answers to your burning questions about life, love, career, anything you want. Cant is there to provide it. What I like about Cant is a super easy sign-up process. All you literally have to do is make an account. It takes 2 seconds, and you kind of just give them a little hint, a little jush of what you want, whether it's like love, relationship, career, finances, etc. After that, Cant will go ahead and match you with their top astrologers. But it doesn't end there. If you call and say you're not driving that well with an astrologer, you can go ahead and click off, girl, and call literally anybody else. Not everybody is a one size fits all. Sometimes you like a little diversity. Sometimes you like somebody who's a little more gentle or straight to the point. So if you don't like who you're talking to at the moment, you can go ahead and hang up and call somebody else back. It's literally that easy. You could do it on your lunch break. You could do it at night when your kids are sleeping. You could do it in the morning when you're doing your makeup before work. All you have to do is just go ahead, go on Cant, make yourself a little account, get set up with an astrologer, or search for ones yourself, and it will tell you on the side like how much they charge per minute and things like that. I personally recently got a reading because we're nearing the end of the year, y'all. We are in August, almost September, and I have questions that I need answers for, what I should be looking forward to the end of the year and to the beginning of next year as well. That's why I love Cant, because I could literally just do it like when I'm in between filming, on a walk, or my daughter's like taking a nap or something. That's why I love Cant so much. Their versatility, their flexibility, and I've never had a bad reading. Like every single sidekick that I've talked to, always spot on and always a great reading. So Cant is bringing you guys a special offer today. As a viewer of this channel, a little thank you. You can go ahead and click the link in my description. If you are a new Cant customer, you can get your first 10-minute reading for only $1.99. Or you can go to trycant.com/Dakota to get your 10-minute reading for only $1.99. That is up to $99 in savings, okay? Cant, thank you so much for sponsoring today's video. Thank you for listening to the sponsor if you did. Now let's continue to whatever the heck I was talking about starting now. You don't have time. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We are not guaranteed to see another day, let alone another week. A lot of us say, oh, I'm going to be with this guy, even though I'm not getting treated well, even though I'm not in a happy state of mind. I'm just going to stay because I have time. I'll find someone eventually who loves me, so I'll stay with this guy for now. You don't have time. And you're going to look back at 50, 60 years old and realize, wow, I wasted my whole life on a man who doesn't care about me. Because let me just say one thing. How somebody treats you is how they feel about you. Never get it twisted. I don't want to hear, oh, he was just having a bad day. Oh, he's going through a lot. Oh, he has childhood trauma. Get over it. Get a therapist. Get over it. Your childhood trauma is not an excuse to treat women like shit. The fact that your mother did not love you is not an excuse to treat women like shit. The fact that your father never spent time with you is not an excuse to treat people like shit. Does it explain it? Yeah, but it doesn't excuse it. And I'm so tired of us giving people these passes to treat others horribly. Who's giving you a pass? I'll wait. Because my whole entire life, what I've been doing is I've been excusing the shitty actions of people and saying, oh, well, it's because of this, and this. If I make one mistake, I'm crucified. I'm the Antichrist. I don't get passes. You probably don't get passes either if you're watching this video. So why are you giving it comfortably to so many other people who don't care about you? Because let me make one thing clear. The hardest pill in life that we will have to swallow is admitting that other people did not love us in the way that we loved them. Our egos sometimes get so bruised because not every single man is salivating over us. Not every single man wants us. If someone does not want you or they're treating you a certain way, it's going to hurt your ego and it's going to sting. But you have to have the self-love and the self-esteem to be like, yeah, this sucks, but I'm going to go find somebody who's a better fit for me. And a lot of us, what we do is we operate within a bruised fucking ego. I've been there before. It hurts. But a bruised ego will allow you to stay in a situation for years and years and years, and you're going to regret it, babe. I'm telling you right now. My mom has a friend who's been with the same guy like literally her whole entire life. No ring, no house, no commitment, nothing. The same problems they have now are the same problems they had back then. She's in, I think, her late 50s. That's her whole life. She could have been found somebody else, married, settled down, dream life. That is her whole life wasted on a man who doesn't care about her. Because a lot of you want to think like, oh, well, he told me he loved me. Oh, well, okay, but what did he told me he loved me. He told me he cared about me. He told me he was going to work on it. But what did he show you? Why are you believing words over actions? Words mean nothing. I could tell you right now that I'm wearing blue. I'm wearing olive green. I could be telling you 50 times that I'm wearing blue. Unless I go and put a blue shirt on, that statement is not true. A lot of you believe the lies and the manipulation of these men, but not the actions. He's telling you he loves you, but by him staying out till 4 in the morning and not coming home or telling you where he's at, not taking you out on dates, not reciprocating the same energy he's giving to you, does he really love you? Is that your definition of love? And then you have to figure out, why am I operating in a state of love that's so wounded? Oh, it's from my childhood because my parents, blah, 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 blah. Figure that out. Heal from it. Stop trying to figure him out. I was saying to myself the other day that when me and my narcissistic ex broke up, I spent a whole entire year researching narcissists, figuring them out, researching how to avoid one, why I'm why this man was in my life, instead of researching why am I attracted to a narcissist? Why did I let a narcissist stay? Why did I not love myself to leave a relationship that its expiration date years ago? Why? That's what I should have been doing. Some of you try to figure out these men for years and years and years and figure out, why won't he commit? Why won't he love me? Why does he do this for her and not me? Why are you allowing it? Why do you think that that's what you're worth? Why do you think that that's your version of love? Because that's not love. You have to figure out, why do you think that's love? Why is that your version of love? No matter how much you heal yourself, and no matter how much you do these self-help workbooks and these self-help books, it means nothing if you don't apply it. You can, till you are blue in the face, say, I love myself, I'm deserving of a good man, I love myself, I'm deserving of a good man. Then you meet a man now and he has a baby on the way, but he says that he wants to take you out on a date, and you think that he's gonna choose you over the girl that he has a baby with. That's crazy. You meet a man out that says that he is traumatized from his ex and isn't ready for a relationship, but you get with him thinking that you're gonna be the exception. That's crazy. That's crazy. No matter how much you heal yourself and how much you love yourself, right? There's always gonna be temptation. Bad people are not going to stop being bad people, but you can stop allowing them to come into your life. If I sit here and I say I love myself, I had a situation literally a couple weeks ago where I almost relapsed. Okay? And that's the thing on this healing journey too, is there are going to be relapses. It just matters how you navigate them and how you get better. I had a situation a couple weeks ago where I met this guy while I was out, and he was like, I don't find many people attractive when I go out. I don't find that many people worth my time when I go out, because I'm going out to a bar. Who the fuck am I gonna meet there, right? So I manage my expectations. This really cute guy comes up to me, starts talking to me, and he is like my type from top to bottom. Oh, delicious, right? We start talking, and I find out some things about him that don't align with my core values, and that I know for a fact it would never work out because of that. Those details are going to be private, because this is that person's story, not mine, and it's not my business or yours. So I'm going to just say that he had a lot of stuff going on that wouldn't match with my core values. I still took his number down, and I texted him for like a day, and then I sat there, I said, why am I doing this? Like, are you cute? Yeah, but you don't match up to the lifestyle that I would want with a partner. So why am I doing this? So I completely stopped texting him, because here's the thing. Do I love myself? Yes. If I love myself, why am I going to be with somebody who doesn't match up to my core values? Why am I going to change myself to be with somebody else? That's crazy. Why would I do that? There was temptation there, but I loved myself enough to say no. Now, if you read all these books and take all these classes, cool, but then when somebody comes up to you, it doesn't match with your core values, if you fold like a lawn chair, do you actually love yourself? Like, this is the thing, is like hard-hitting truths and hard-hitting questions. You guys ask me all the time. I get hundreds of DMs, literally hundreds, of you guys saying, I just don't know how to start my journey. How do I start my healing journey? Your healing journey starts when you admit hard truths to yourself, when you admit who you are, what you have done thus far to get you here, who you are as a person, the values that you used to align with that got you here. You look at what you have done wrong, and then you're going to look at, okay, who do I want to become now? Who am I going to change into now? The hard-hitting truths, my hard-hitting truths, I'll call myself out, is I used to have a very anxious attached style. If you were not texting me every minute of every hour, I was bugging. Not bugging, but I was like, oh, what is he doing? Who is he with? Blah, blah, blah. That wound stemmed from the fact that I've been cheated on in the past, and that I've been lied to. I've been with a narcissist. I've been with a pathological liar. That stemmed from that. I had abandonment wounds because one of my caregivers growing up wasn't present. I had these things that I had yet to heal from, and because I had yet to heal from, I was allowing those things into my life. It's not about what you attract. I hear that so much, like, oh, well, do I love myself because I'm attracting this? You will attract anybody, no matter what stage of your healing journey you're on, whether you are really super healed and you love yourself, or you just started and you're kind of at that point where it's like, damn, I guess I don't love myself, I have to work on this. You'll attract people from all walks of life. That's like saying, oh, I'm never gonna see a fucking pizza, I'm never gonna see a pizzeria in my life again. I hate pizza, I don't want pizza, I have moved on to better food, but I'm never gonna see a pizzeria my whole entire life. That is so ignorant and crazy. And then you see a pizza place and you're like, oh, well, I must actually not eat healthy now because I just saw a pizza place. Like, no, it doesn't work like that, girl. You're going to attract, why am I itching so much? You're gonna attract people from all walks of life. How you feel about yourself and your self-esteem and your self-love is going to determine who you allow in. It's not about who you attract, it's about who you let in. And who you let in is directly correlated with how you feel about yourself. You see what I'm saying? So please stop with that bullshit of like, oh, I'm attracting this, I'm attracting narcissists. You're not attracting them, you're letting them in. It's not like, oh, I'm never gonna come across a bad man again. I'm never gonna come across a cheater or a liar again. No, because that's who they are. But stop focusing so much on who they are and focus on who you are. Put that attention on yourself, okay? And the best way to start, like I said, is just like talking about those hard-hitting truths. You have to ask yourself those hard questions. When I was celibate for a year, before I went on that celibacy, I wanted to do it correctly. A lot of people, they'll be like celibate for like X amount of years, but they will do no work in the meantime. They just won't have sex. And it's like, that's like going to like a rehab facility and sitting in the parking lot for like 2 days but never going inside to get the treatment, right? That's crazy. You have to do the work, which is learning, okay, well, these partners I've had in the past, they're toxic. What makes me want to be with somebody who's toxic? What part of me likes that and is attracted to that? 9 times out of 10, it's because you grew up in a toxic environment. So you don't really like know any better. Like, you have to give yourself some grace and compassion, right? It's like you don't know any better. You've been surrounded by this for so long. So no duh, you're going to let somebody in who's toxic, because that's what you equate to love from your experience, right? But when you want a better experience for yourself, you have to become a better version of yourself. And becoming a better version of yourself is asking yourself those hard questions. This is where I'm at right now. Who do I want to be? How do I get there? Oh, okay. I have this anxious attachment style. I have this, ability to get really irritated really quick by what people say. I care too much about what people think. How do I become the woman who doesn't care about what people think? How do I become the woman who's less reactive? How do I become the woman who is healthy, happy, thriving? How do I get from here to here? What's the work that has to be done? And when you really just dig deep and start to do that work, that's where the results happen. But if you just say, oh, I'm on a healing journey, girl, where? Are you? Because you're still texting your ex. You're still texting that ain't shit guy from the bar that has a baby on the way. You're still, like, when you go out, you're still, letting anybody just, like, buy you drinks and give you attention and having a conversation. And, oh, I'll take down his number just because. Like, are you actually healing? Because to me, it sounds like you're doing the same shit you've done for X amount of years with another person. That's what it sounds like. Like, what? Okay, you're healing, but how? I could tell you how I'm healing right now. I'm in therapy. I'm like almost, I want to say 100% past that anxious attachment style. I'm becoming a secure attachment style now. And the reason why I know that is because I don't like long for a relationship. Do I want one? Yeah, eventually. But I'm not sitting here being like, oh, cuffing season's coming up. I want to go to the pumpkin patch with somebody. Like, no, I'm like, if it happens, it happens. If not, whatever, I'm cool. I'll go with somebody else. I'll go with my daughter. Like, that's how I know I'm healing. And also I'm becoming less reactive. Now when things happen, like, if you are a woman with a purpose, you cannot just respond to anything any type of way. A woman that has a bright future, a big future ahead of her, doesn't respond to little things. Doesn't respond to little things, right? So like for me, I'm less reactive now. Like when something happens in my life and I feel like somebody's insulting me or throwing shade, I'm just like, you're really speaking about yourself, so I'm gonna let you handle that. I was talking to my therapist today actually, and she was saying like, we live in this culture where on social media, people just think that they can say whatever they want and comment and critique somebody any way they want from top to bottom just because they're behind a computer. And it's funny because so many people react to what that person is saying. And you guys know me, like I used to pop off in my comments like crazy because one thing you're not gonna do is talk to me like that. And she was like, I wish people would know that what those haters are actually saying, they feel about themselves. Because somebody who constantly is commenting, and I know you guys all know a girl like this in your friend group or your circle or just your coworker or school, whatever, that one person who always has something to say about somebody else, whether it's her outfit, her hair, her clothes, the way she talks, her behavior, because she has no self-awareness. When you don't go inward and you don't look at yourself, because you don't do that, you have so much time to talk about everybody else. And how you feel about other people is actually how you freaking feel about yourself. You would know that if you took like maybe 2-4 seconds out of your day to actually go inward and be like, well, why do I always talk about her? Is it because I'm a hater? Is it because I want her life? Probably. So she was saying like if we became less reactive, life would be just like so much better. And also how you could just never control anybody else's perception of you. And that really is what it boils down to at the end of the day. It matters how you feel about yourself, not anybody else. Also, I would say a second step is like loving yourself for how you are now. I know that I have weight to lose. Why am I so itchy? I know I have weight to lose. I know I could eat better. I know I could be exercising more and things like that. But I'm going to love the body I have right now because I have it, right? And it can get better. I will lose the weight, I will eat better, but I'm gonna love myself today because why am I gonna have destination addiction? Destination addiction is when you place your happiness and your value in a future that has yet to come into fruition. Yeah, so like, oh, when I buy that house, I'll be happy. Oh, when I have this BMW, I'll be happy. When I have, you know, Michael Kors or Chanel or Van Cleef, I'll be happy. And it's like, why are you placing your happiness in a future that you don't even know if it's going to happen or come to fruition, or if you're going to be given it? Because like I said, we are not promised today, tomorrow, let alone another week, another month, another year. Why are you placing your happiness there? Start now. Start now. Start where you are at now. Why not? Why can't you be happy now? You really have to just like love yourself for where you are at now. And you have to want yourself to be happy. And this is the thing, is that it's hard because like in order to alleviate the pain that we have from these past experiences, we have to let go of them. We have to let go of them. We have to forgive and forget and move forward and choose to be happy. I realized like I've been taking a sword to my own happiness over the past 2 years by allowing myself to ruminate on situations that I've far outgrown. And like forgiveness is really what got me there. And the reason why I'm like saying this right now is because it's so important and nobody talks about it. Forgiveness is not like, oh, like I'm just gonna forgive them so I can have peace. Forgiveness is like understanding why that person did what they did to you, but that takes dismantling your ego, because a lot of us like to stay in these victim mindsets. I used to be there, so I'm talking about it. Am I victim shaming? No. And I'm not talking about abuse. I'm talking about like if someone broke up with you or cheated on you. I was so salty over one of my exes breaking up with me for such a long time that like I literally put my life on pause for the longest time because I'm like, my ego was so bruised that he chose somebody else over me.
Baby, I wonder, would you just put your sweats on for me? Yeah. I got the plug.